Welcome to the fourth and final day here at Productronica. Yesterday we continued to look at a lot of the new technologies around the show, and we saw some really super stuff. One of the most amazing things we saw was on the Rain booth. They had a HoloLens system which was actually showing 3D images of a reflow oven and in real time, and the different temperatures that the oven was reaching. This HoloLens system also worked for servicing the machine and maintenance, and it was really cool. After the break, we're going to join with Michael Skinner, who I spoke to yesterday. Michael is associate editor at US Tech magazine, one of our collaboration partners here on the show, and he gave us his views and takeaways from Productronica.
Sponsored by Panasonic. Smart factory solutions for any mix, any volume. Introducing the new NPM W2S, the ideal placement solution for manufacturers who value reduced setup and changeover time over volume.
Delivering innovation for over 34 years and backed by employees worldwide, Nordson Syntec's team of experts are ready to support your next adventure.
So, welcome back. My guest today is Michael Skinner. He's the associate editor at US Tech, which is, of course, one of the collaborating media companies that works with us on these projects. It's great to see you, Mike. Welcome.
It's great to be here. Thank you.
So, it's been a fantastic week. There's been a lot happening. It's one of the busiest shows that I remember for Productronica. What's been your take?
I can only speak a little bit to that because this is my first Productronica.
Okay.
Now, I was at Electronica last year, which of course is a component show.
Yeah.
But as far as size, I mean, this is very near the size of that show.
Right.
And we don't have anything in the U.S. that compares,
No.
hardly to this. One hall of this is Apex.
Right.
It's incredible. It's huge. I've walked 20 miles.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And it has that effect on everybody, believe me. We're in a unique environment at the moment. I've said this many times to people I've interviewed that all economies are going up at the moment, so it's created this very vibrant, successful business at the moment. One of the problems I'm hearing about, though, is lead times on equipment, as much as 6 months, and in one particular case, 60 weeks. To actually get a piece of equipment. So the success is does have a flip side to it.
Yeah.
But let's have a look at what was new on the show floor here. What did you see that was really caught your eye?
I think the big key thing here at this show is that everybody is displaying some form of automation.
Right.
Everybody, every booth, from
Sure.
the printers to the SMT to the placement guys to the inspection people, everything is being automated.
Absolutely.
And they don't even, it's not even being promoted necessarily as, as we're automating now. It just is there on the floor.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's true because automation brings quality. It's also critical for the smart factory environment to automate and take as much as they can of the manual process out of the job.
Yeah.
But you're right. There's an awful lot of automation on the show floor. There's also been a lot more. People are opening up with their software. It's becoming a lot more collaborative. Everybody's come to the realization that they can't just have their own secret software. It's got to be able to communicate with everybody.
Yeah.
You're finding like Panasonic came out with a completely new software suite which connects to every other vendor. It's very open source, and a lot of other companies have done similar. I think to fit in with things like Hermes, etc.
Yeah, the Hermes thing I think is a very big, important development, at least for the West.
Yeah.
Now, like you mentioned earlier, that they're trying to develop a similar M2M communication standard for Japan, which, as we've spoken about, seems a little bit like, almost a little regressive.
It is.
Can we agree on one? Can we just pick one? But the Hermes, at least, I believe, is a right step, a step in the right direction, and we have the big players. You have ASM and Ko-Young and all these guys that are hooking on. I think there's 28 now, 28 contributors.
Yeah. I think Hermes is an important first step. I mean, and it's working at a lower level. It is putting packets of information from machine to machine back and forward up the line and controlling the belt speed. But The main thing is that other systems like IPC CFX or OML or Siemens and Panasonic and Yamaha's software can all bolt on top of it.
Yeah. To provide a more broad factory control.
Correct, or a more bespoke thing for their own equipment. These things can all be bolted on top of it. So it's I think it is it's remarkable how fast it was being developed and introduced.
Just March, I think, of this year.
Yeah, it's incredible. So that's been good. Looking at other new things that I've seen on the floor, have you seen any other new equipment on the floor?
I think some of the fun things, besides the rollout of the next generation of equipment from all the big players, the ASM, Fuji, Panasonic, those guys, they all have their new line. I like some of the smaller concept ideas that they've been coming up with. One of them at Nordson Simtech, they have it's basically a 2-level concept dispensing, curing, and inspection system that works in a loop. And they have it illustrated with Lego blocks with labels, where you have 2 levels, and the boards travel, and they flip, and they're coated and inspected on both sides. And that's kind of neat. They don't have any, they brought it just to show a few customers, but as a concept, it's very neat. Saves space, pack in all those processes, and you can use it for smaller volume. Or if you could really refine it, you could use it for prototyping. And I think we'll see more of that, more of these combinatorial systems. Yeah,
I think they're going to have the first real version of that machine ready for Apex, is what they were telling me. So that was interesting. One really cool one I saw on the ASUS booth was they brought out a 3D printer, but they called it a 3D screen printer, and this system can actually work with a series of different screens. So you can do a build-up technology using a magazine of different screens. So you can sort of build up one level using metals or plastics or whatever, then change out a screen and bring it in and print it through another screen. It's quite a unique way of doing it.
It's fascinating.
Yeah. So that was very different. I think they're doing it in collaboration with a Swiss company, but it was certainly something that caught my eye.
That's incredible. I think also we'll see, just even with traditional 3D printing, we'll see, we're seeing more of that. And
there's one that I'm going to see. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm scheduled to see it this afternoon, which is, I believe, comes from IBL. There's a lot of these reflow companies have done vacuum systems for reflow, for getting voids out of the system. The Ursa, of course, has done their ultrasonic system for doing the same thing. But IBL are bringing in a vapor phase unit. That's going to sit in the middle of the reflow oven, and it's going to eliminate the voids. Now, the beauty of that is that with vapor phase you get a very uniform heat transfer, and you can really pinpoint it, make it exact. So therefore, you don't need to worry too much about your peak reflow going out of spec. So I'm looking forward to seeing that.
I think that would be interesting to see.
Yeah. So there we go. So anyway, I guess you'll be heading back to the US the next day or two.
Yep, we'll head out. We'll head out tomorrow morning.
Right. Okay. Good. And I think I'm heading out Saturday, so I'm sure we'll meet up again at Apex or one of these events before that. But for now, Michael, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. Thanks. And so that brings us to the end of Productronica 2017. It's been an amazingly busy and successful show, and I want to thank everybody who's taken part, all of our panelists, all of our interview guests, and you for watching us. This is Trevor Galbraith saying goodbye from Munich.